Hey, how are you? Oh, damn it. There we go. Sorry. So yeah, I got this new game. It's called Noodles. I uploaded the video earlier. It's a tech-like, so it's Electronics-like game. It's not by Electronics, but it's in the same spirit. About programming robots which cook sushi. That's a premise and a half. So it's interesting. It's gonna enter early access on the 29th of November, so in a few days. And it's certainly not finished yet. I feel like the UX is a little weird and stuff like that. But the gameplay in it of itself is actually fairly interesting. So I wanted to play a little more. So let's do that, shall we? First we have to stop our dancing robots over here. That was just a test, basically. Yeah. Guess we just delete them, delete all. So for this level, I have to cook whatever that is. Unfortunately, there are no tooltips, so I think I actually can find out by placing the thing. Quiche, I guess. Quiche. Okay, we're supposed to cook quiche. And for quiche, we need shrooms and bread, I guess, or something, whatever that is. So what do we need? We need one sliced shroom, one egg, one milk, I assume? That's water, probably. And 1 bread. And put it in the oven for 2 cycles. And then we're done. So let's try to set that up. We start with the... Oh, there's actually a limit on the consumers. I never noticed. That's good to know. Do I start optimizing? No, let's get it going first. We can start optimizing afterwards. So let's start backwards. So we need a consumer. Then we need a robot here. Robots can move, but I think for the most part it's not worth it having them move right now, at least if you're optimizing for cycles, that is anyway. So I'm just gonna spawn multiple robots. Is there a limit on the robots? I don't think so. Is that a limit though? Oh yeah, oh those are limits as well. Limited as well. The inputs are limited. So you can only do so much. Okay, good to know. Interesting. So we need a robot. We need an oven. Let's put an oven here. And then we need all these resources. So we get shrooms and okay, so the robot actually maybe it doesn't have to move. We can just wait, let's move everything. Can I go there? No, don't edit the robot. No. What's the button? There we go. Wanted to move the robot. Let's move this as well. And actually, no, that's not good. Not good. Because I want to have spawners here for eggs and for milk. What should start? Milk? Okay, let's record the program for the robot. You do so by actually pressing the buttons, so making the robot move. So WASD moves the robot, and if he bumps into something, he will interact. So I press left to get milk, and then turn right and put it in the oven. And then I'm gonna rotate down to the egg, grab the egg, put it in the oven. And then we'll have to wait for a few cycles. I wonder how many. Let's just go with the 2. Like if the shroom and the bread are in there at the same time as the egg, then we have to wait 3 cycles, grab the thing from the oven, put it on the quiche, seller, consumer, whatever, and then reset to the starting position. Let's assume that works for now, and now have robots prepare shrooms and bread, I guess. So actually I have limited space here, which is, but I should move everything again actually. Oh wait, no, I'm still programming the robot. Finish program. Let's move everything 1 to the left so I have a little bit more space. So let's put another robot over here and put a shroom spawner here, shroom producer I guess, and the cutting station. And that robot is gonna pick up a shroom, slice it, pick it up again, put it in the oven, reset, and then wait until he's synchronized with the other robot again. Okay, so far so good. And now let's have a third robot. Needs a little bit more. He needs actually 2 producers and a station. So I guess I have to make him move a little bit. Actually, if I put him here, I don't have to make him move, and I can make this one move. It's probably more reasonable, actually. So reprogram this by deleting all. But there is a button for deleting all, isn't there? Maybe not. Okay. Pick up the shroom, put it on the slicing station, pick it up again, move to the oven, put it in the oven, get back to the start, wait 4 cycles. Okay. New robot. Getting over here. Getting the floor spawner, I guess, floor producer. Getting a water producer. And a rolling station. Starting with the floor. Putting it on the station. Taking the water, putting it on the station. Rolling for 2 cycles because there are 2 stars here, so this means we have to wait for 2 cycles until it's finished cooking, and this means we have to interact for 2 cycles to finish the product, and then we have to pick it up. So this is putting it down, preparing, picking it up again, putting it in the oven, reset, wait 2 cycles. Okay, that's not gonna work because as you can see, I'm gonna put it in the oven over here. So we have to wait more cycles with the first robot. So how many? This one has to be here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 cycles. So let's just add 4 sleeping cycles here. There we go. And then add this one and add 4 sleeping cycles here as well. Let's see if that works. Looks good. Looks good. There we go. Okay, cool. That was actually super fast. Interesting. That was pretty good in general, I think. It doesn't show my bar for bot area for some reason. Program size is apparently good. Cycles are good as well. Okay, these histograms are not super representative as yet, I guess, because not a lot of people play this because the game's not actually released yet, not available. I'm not sure there is a demo available, and I'm not sure if it actually counts, if this actually includes the data from the demo. It probably does. Actually, the demo is, I think, just the beta or whatever, or alpha. So that's apparently good already. Wait, that's weird though. I think this is bugged. It says I took 98 cycles and it shows me on the 56 cycles bar. That makes no sense. No, that doesn't seem right. Same goes with program size. Oh, for bot area, I'm off the chart. Wait, I have 28 bot area? Because it's rectangular? Wait, 28? Still seems a lot. I was at 28. Is this the bot area? I would assume the bot area is only where the bots are, which would be 9. That's 28. That's actually, no, it's 20. It's 5 times 4, it's 20. Oh, no, it says 9. What? Let's run it again. So it takes 98 cycles. Okay, now bot area is at 9. That bugged out for some reason. Cycles are at 98 though, and this is not 98. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Same for program size as mentioned. So that's a little bit weird. I would have been very surprised if this would have been a fast solution, because it's obviously easy to put more things, like to produce more, because I have lots of wasted cycles. Let's actually try doing that, maybe. It's a little bit unfortunate that there's no like level select yet and stuff like that, so I can't actually go back to earlier levels, which is really weird. Wait, back to layout. Oh no, that was just the layout of the level. I don't think there is a oops. I don't think there is a level selection or something, which is really strange. Exit game will just, well, kill the game. No, actually, is this actually in full screen or in borderless? It's in full borderless, okay. All good. So yeah, like I can't really, I can't save solutions yet and stuff like that, so that's a little annoying. It's definitely missing features, but the game will enter early access, so they will have some time to get this stuff in. So usability features are definitely needed. Okay. So what do we have left? We have 3 more consumers left, which not sure how much that helps, but we certainly can take more resources from the spawners. I think we can take 1 per cycle. Actually, oh yeah, my plan wasn't possible in the first place. When I said it should be in at the same time as the other stuff, like the products should be in the oven at the same time, because I think you can only put 1 product per cycle in the oven or on any station. So I think the same is true for the spawners or producers, I think is what they're called. So how would you actually try optimizing this for cycles? I mean, what is a good strategy for this? Like, it's not very obvious what or at least to me, what a good approach. Like, how do you approach this properly? And what is like the fastest way to do this? Because we obviously have to take resources from the producers and then prepare them. So what is the fastest thing we can do in theory? Like, it takes... Okay, so you can pick these up in 1 cycle and put them on the rolling station in 2 more cycles. It's 3 cycles. Then, like, you need 1 cycle to pick them up, and then you need 2 cycles to put them down if you use two different robots, because you cannot put them down at the same time. Then you need 2 more cycles for rolling it. I wonder if 2 robots can do that at the same time. I would be surprised by it though. Probably not. That would be 5 cycles. Then you have to pick it up, 6 cycles. Put it in the oven, 7 cycles. You can have the shroom and the other stuff in at that point already, I assume. Because that's only... Yeah, that should be possible. It's only a few cycles. So that's 7 cycles, followed by 2 cycles of waiting, 1 cycle of taking it out, and 1 cycle of selling it. That's 11 cycles. But I forgot that you actually asked to have to rotate as well between most of these actions. And you can only partially parallelize it because we don't have unlimited producers or consumers, or unlimited space, that is. So there's actually no obvious straightforward approach to doing that, which is really different to most Zachtronics games, actually. Because in a Zachtronics game, there's usually, at least you have an idea on what the optimal solution looks like. Sometimes you miss something or there's a trick you can use to optimize it, but there's usually a pretty straightforward path. Like take Infinite Factory, for example. Like, you have to produce that product from the basic blocks, and usually you can figure out which is the last block that has to get to the output in some way. And you can figure out how many cycles it takes in theory to get there, and then you just have to figure out the logistics. Well, I'm saying only, just the logistics. The logistics are the interesting part and the most complex part, obviously. But the path to the solution is kind of somewhat obvious, at least. Or there's sometimes there are different approaches to it, but there is usually at least one straightforward solution in some way. Not super straightforward, obviously, but it's different with this game because, like, I have no idea what is a good approach to do this, because you're very limited with these robots. You cannot just move the things. You have robots to move the things, which is way harder to do, actually. And the same is true for Opus Magnum, for example. In Opus Magnum, it's very obvious. Like, it's fairly easy to calculate minimum cycles, actually, in Magnum, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure I'm not mixing that up. I think Exapunk was actually a little bit more open in that regard. If I remember correctly, there could be multiple approaches, at least for some levels. There could be, it was not quite obvious what the best strategy is. But for this one, holy shit. All right, let's just roll with that. Let's kill everything and try to figure out what a decent way of solving this could be. So, like, the goal is to do it fast, because I always optimize for cycles in these games usually. Program size could be interesting, especially because you can link the robots, so they can basically do the same program all at the same time, which saves program size because only one of them counts. Like, let's actually demonstrate. So you can program this robot to do this little dance, and then you can tell this robot to do whatever robot 1 does. Oh wait, does it actually copy? What? Program size 12? How is program size 12? This is buggy as fuck. How is it 12? Like, I would understand 8 and I wouldn't understand 16. But 12? Also bot area 32? What? Okay, now bot area is 4. Which is weird as well. How would you get to... Oh no, it's 10 actually. Okay, what? 10? Yeah, 10 makes sense. It's the rectangle around the 2 bots. Okay, that's fair. Program size 12 makes no sense though. So apparently the scoring system is a little bit buggy yet. Still. That's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. I hope the cycle count... The cycle count so far seemed appropriate, correct though. Just the histogram was wrong. Okay. I had 98, if I remember correctly, so let's try to beat that for the moment. What is a way to do this? So we have one spawner or one producer only for every ingredient. All of the 4 different there, 5 ingredients. So the fastest thing to put in the oven is the bread. So let's try to optimize that first. So we need flour. Oh, I didn't want to put it there. It's not well. We need flour. And we need... Wait. Flour. And we need water. And we need a rolling station. Robots. And then we have to put it in an oven. So grab it, put it down, reset. Grab it, put it down, roll, grab it, put it in the oven, reset. That's not gonna work though. Let's try. Yeah, they block, so they cannot both use the rolling station. So let's make this one wait for a cycle before it puts it in. And let's actually try if we can do double rolling. I assume we can't. But let's see. Oh no, he picks it up. He picks it up, that's not good. Let's see what happens if we put delay in here. Yeah, they both try to use it and that doesn't work. Okay. To be expected, but I wanted to be sure that's actually how it works. So far, so good. Obviously, it doesn't cycle around, so that's an issue. But gonna solve that later. For the moment, let's go with the rest. So, so the thing is, actually, okay, no, this is not a great starting point, because what I'm doing again is optimizing for one consumer. I can have multiple consumers though, and I can produce multiple products at the same time, but I only have one producer for every ingredient. So I have to make sure I can access them properly without losing too much space. Also, the more I think about it, the more I think the game needs a way for auto-syncing the loops, like what Opus Magnum did. In Opus Magnum, every arm will run on the same cycle count. So if you give one arm more commands than the other, then the other will automatically wait when it's done with its instructions before it loops around. Which is a limitation, but makes it way easier to do it, or less annoying, I say. Because if I think about a more complex solution here, it probably is gonna end up with having to pad out a lot of instruction sets with wait instructions, because you want them on a stable cycle if they're not completely independent to each other, which it probably will not be. Oh yeah, okay, let's actually try something. If a second robot tries to pick up floor, is he actually gonna collide? Yeah. So yeah, then certainly you don't want to run them off sync, because that would be very bad, because it would break eventually. I mean, you only have to produce 5 products though, so maybe it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, like you don't need an infinitely running solution if you only have to produce 5 products. Oh, who knows? I don't know. Okay. So I want these resources to be accessible, so I can have a second robot picking them up, and producing another quiche at the same time, because that will save me some cycles for sure. So this setup is probably not good. It's good because it optimizes the time it takes to, like, this is the minimum time I think it takes to, well, actually not, because they're turning too many cycles. Could have one of them only. Yeah, I could have the floor there and use that to make it faster, actually. But that's not gonna make these ingredients more accessible, so I think I have to do it a little different. Okay, let's start with the probably not optimal, but straightforward approach. We take everything in the center row. Room, egg, and water. And now we have robots which take these things and put them somewhere. Now, actually, thinking about having switching the order around, because that allows me to get more space for the bread, which might be beneficial. Yeah, I think I'm gonna move all this. And now have a second robot over here. Have the rolling station here. And then probably the oven here. Then have another robot here, which needs the cutting station. That's a long path, however. Not a fan. I mean, I also have tables. I can just put things down. It probably helps. Let's put the cutting station here and 2 tables here. 2 more robots here, and then 1 robot sitting here. And collecting things. And then let's see. Okay, let's try that. So robot number 1. Pick up the water, put it on the rolling station, reset, and wait for a few cycles. Robot 2, pick up the floor. Oh, I have to start editing as first. Pick up the floor, wait for 1 cycle, put it on the rolling station, roll for 2 cycles, grab it again, rotate, put it in the oven. Reset. Robot 3. No. Robot 3. Pick up the shroom, turn around, put it on the slicing board, reset. Wait. And now we can link that because the others have to do the same thing. So 4 links to 3 and 5 links to 3 as well. Now, robot number 6 waits for a few cycles. Then picks up the shroom, puts it in the oven, picks up the egg, puts in the oven, picks up the milk, put it in the oven. This takes way too long. This takes way too long because he has to. I hoped this would take him fewer steps, but it actually takes him lots of steps. So not really that great of an option. Wait, no. Are we? Is the stream working properly? No, it's good. Okay, never mind. I think. Is it? I think it is. Let me double check. Nope. You stop dying. Oh. What did it do? What? Search that. The website. Oh. No, stream seems to be fine. Okay. Just panicked for a sec. Double check Twitch really quick. Yeah, that's good as well. Okay. Back to sushi. So this takes way too long. So that's probably not a good strategy. So what could I do instead? I could have the oven here and this be a table. Or I could move these up there. Oh yeah, that's probably better. That's probably better. Wait, what? Flip? What? Oh, you can flip? What does that do? I guess it does probably rotates the commands. So you can have the bots do the same thing, but counterclockwise, not counterclockwise, but like mirrored or something. No. No, no, no. I hate that. Oh, god damn it, pressing the wrong buttons. I hate that the buttons are not in the same place depending on what you select. Like for a producer, it's on the top left. For a robot, it's the third icon. Really irritating. Also, it would be nice to just grab them. Like just drag and drop them, that would be easier instead of just always selecting the freaking command for it. Okay, so can we? So we will have one here that waits for the shroom. Wait for the shroom. Pick up the shroom. Go to the oven, put it in the oven, reset. Then I want the robot over here, which waits for the water, the milk, grabs the milk, puts it in the oven, resets. Get auto scrolls, so you always see the command, the command for the bot you're selecting. And then we need another one over here, which might be a bottleneck. Waits for 4 cycles, grabs the egg, puts it in the oven. Yeah, it's a little later than the others. It's not terribly late though. Then waits for 2 cycles, grabs whatever's in the oven, and puts it in the consumer. And then resets. Okay. Now we have to pad out the command lines. How many were? I didn't remember. Damn it. How many? 24. I might be able to optimize this a little bit, cycle-wise, by having them loop back in without, like, by having the loops be a little bit off sync. I'm not sure that's gonna work out. Maybe. But let's start with the obvious solution here. Well, not obvious, but the not super tricky approach by having them synced. Actually, putting them off sync is probably not gonna help. I don't know, maybe. Not understanding the game mechanics well enough yet to actually make any statement about that. W's of station bake. God damn it. So 2 of them are putting things in the oven at the same time. I think it's 7 and 6. Yeah. Actually 7, 6, and 2. So, oh, maybe 8 is not that delayed after all. Okay, let's insert some delays then. 2 will be delayed by 1. And 7 will be delayed by 2. 6 will not be delayed any further. Let's see. Also, it would be nice to have a button for step-by-step execution. We can make it slower, okay. God damn it. They were colliding anyway. Wait. Restart. Yeah, he can't get out of the way fast enough. Okay, that's a problem. But 6 is... Yeah, 6 is not unnecessarily delayed, so... And they're picking it up instantly. So 8 wants to put it in right after 7, but 6 is not out of the way yet at that point. Wait, why not though? Why not? What is 6 actually doing? Seems to be correct. A little confused. Puts it in, moves up, turns to the left, puts it in, rotates, goes down. Why is that? Why is that a collision? With 8. God damn it, can they stop? Oh, okay, this is really dumb. Like, I want to point there with the cursor, but I can't because as soon as I do, it's highlighting robot number 3, which is scrolling up the whole thing. So I'm just gonna do it with my finger, with my finger for myself. I guess you can't see it in that case, but so 6 is picking it up. Yeah, it's putting it over it, turning left, moving. At that point, it should be out of the way, but okay, yeah, 8 is coming in earlier. What about moving the oven to a more accessible place? I also have to duplicate the whole thing for the other side. And in the end, I might not be even that much faster than my 96 original score, but maybe. Actually, if now I think of it, like the best score so far seemed to be like 50 something, 56 I think, which is around half 89, 98. So this might be the correct approach. Okay. So how do I make them not collide? That's a bit tedious. They're moving very slow. Like that, every rotation is a command. Makes them move very, very slow. Like it takes them so many steps to do something. It's not. I'm not sure it's a bad thing, but right now it's annoying me a little bit. It's very, 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 very small steps. Okay, how can I put the baking station in a better spot? Or is that helping, or can I solve it differently? I can solve it by obviously having robot number 8 wait, but that will delay the product quite a bit. I mean, it would help. Oh yeah, what about moving this there? That should help a little bit. Okay, let's see. So 6. It's just gonna do this. No, wait. What's going on now? Grab it. Put it in the oven. Reset. There you go. The reset was broken because I moved, or I changed this movement. So I guess you have to reapply that every time. So he puts it in at that point. So the next one could be number. And now I have to. Now I have to coordinate 7 and 8, or 7 and 2. Let's try coordinating 7 and 2 and see if that works. And we have to figure out where to put the consumer. Maybe I put it down there and have 6 put it in. That probably makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. So we have to adjust the command for the program for 6 again. But let's go with 2 next. Actually, 2 is preparing the thing. I forgot. He's not that fast, actually. Ew. Ew. Because I mean, now I can't see the other programs. The UX is a little bit lackluster, certainly. Okay. Out early. Maybe 7 can actually grab it, get down there, and then make space for 2 before 2 is finished. Maybe. Give me a second. Okay, I'm back. My wife just came home, so I had a little chat. Wait, let me close the door really quick. Okay. Okay. Okay, what is an easy solution to this? What was my current situation? 2 and 7 are colliding. And I can't. Can I move this? No. This game needs way more UX features to not be annoying. So what is the fastest thing 7 can do? 7 can pick it up, rotate, rotate, move, move. Wrong button. Second. Okay, sorry. No, we're okay. So 7 gets down there. Wait, oh. Wrong window focus. Puts it in the oven. Resets. This is really late. And it's, okay, now we're okay. Sorry. I mean, nobody's watching this live anywhere right now, so I'm probably fine. I wonder why. Did the notifications not go out or something? I mean, I don't have many viewers, but no viewers seems a little weird. It's certainly up on my channel and stuff, so should show up. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Would nice to have someone to chat with, but that's okay. So, so when is 7 putting it in? Be nice to have like cycle numbers or something. Here. 5 cycles after this one. Yeah, they're gonna collide heavily. Oh, actually, speaking of it, someone just joined the chat. Hi, Asman. Welcome to the stream. You just have to complain sometimes, right? Sometimes complaining is all it takes. So he has to move, but before he has to move, I think he has to wait a few more cycles. Actually, quite a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's when 7 puts it in. Then he has to rotate and move away. So, rotate. Move away. Up. I don't know. Can they move at the same time? I don't know. Let's see. No. Still get a pod collision earlier. Okay, I have to fix the rest first, right? Let's undo what I just did. Let's keep it that way. Asman asks if this is a Tektronics game. No, it's not. It's a Tektronics-like. So the developer describes itself, the developer themselves describe the game as a tech-like. So they describe it as a game inspired by Tektronic titles. I see. Reason. But it's not a Tektronics game. One obvious indicator from that is that it's not even close to the level of polish that Tektronics games are when they enter early access. But I think it's a very small indie development studio. Might even be one person. I'm not sure. So, it's kind of a good excuse for that. So let's actually fix the other robots first before we continue doing all of this. So delete all of this. Down. That's way too early. and then reset. Okay. Let's see. Okay, that actually worked. Can we have 2 go 1 cycle earlier than this? I don't think so, but let's see. Oh, we can, okay. Probably not faster than that though. Also his reset is broken. No, okay. I think 8 can actually put it in earlier. 8 just has time to put it in before 7, so let's do that. So it doesn't have to wait. So far so good. Has to wait in the end though. Okay. Who should do the selling though? Who should put it in the consumer? Greetings, Gar. Greetings, Gar. Welcome to the stream. It's like how long am I streaming now? I think in an hour? Yeah. I'm streaming for an hour. Nobody listens. Nobody watches. Nobody joins in. The moment I mention that nobody's watching, 2 people show up. What a coincidence. That's really silly. Yeah, I think I'm safe with putting that load on 6. So the last one putting something in is 7, I believe. No, it's 2 actually. And 2 is... Yeah, okay, 2 is doing it there. So... Yeah, the cursor's at the right position already. So there, at that point, it's in. So now it has to cook for 2 hours, 2 cycles. And then we can grab it. This is buggy. Like, this is not the... Oh, no, it's not buggy. I'm just an idiot. He should not reset. So he should face the right... Then he faces the right thing. Right position. So he should not reset. Instead, he should wait 2 cycles from here. Then pick it up, put it in the thing, and then reset. And I think we can... now get rid of a few cycles on all of them. And we can shorten the petting, basically, by 3 cycles. Okay. Okay, that's 1 or 3 cycles. Which is obviously slower than what I had before. But that's because I don't have the other side yet. Okay, let's take a look at the chat really quick. Greetings Scars suggests to just repeat that nobody's watching and be on the front page in no time. Probably. Asman writes, this type of game are becoming a genre and totally undiscovered. Maybe one day someone will deliver a unique experience within this kind of setup and it will be a hit. Do you think? I think Tectonics games are kind of hits already. At least some of them. Like Tectonics has a reasonable amount of popularity already. Like they're way too niche to become mainstream. Like puzzle games in general aren't mainstream. And like hardcore puzzle games like Tech-likes like are even less mainstream than like casual puzzle games. So yeah, I don't think it's gonna get much bigger than it is right now. A little bit probably, from few reasons. More people are getting into coding and stuff these days, so more people might discover that they're interested in these kind of puzzle games. And in general, probably not everyone who is in theory interested in it did pick up or did found Tectonic games yet. But I think I would like, it would be interesting to have a chart that shows like sale numbers for different Tectonic titles. Because I would assume that they're probably going up from game to game, but not by much at this point. Like Molex Syntax is probably not going up because it's just a little mini game in between, but Opus Magnum probably had more. Actually, they're not that comparable because they're kind of different. The coding games are definitely different than the other ones, so I don't know. But I'm pretty sure, like what I'm trying to say is like, I'm pretty sure Tectonics is rising in popularity, but I think that they're pretty close to saturating, or fairly close to saturating the market already. So I don't think they're growing that much anymore at that point. I don't like, it's just a gut feeling. I have no numbers on this whatsoever. But from what I can tell, it seems that most people who would be interested in this kind of stuff already know Tectonics games. And so there's not much more. There are not that many more people you can actually reach with this kind of stuff. So it's definitely becoming a genre, and I think that's a good thing. But I don't see it exploding overnight further than it is, or like getting bigger than it is right now. Scar writes that he feels like problem games and talking about Tectonic games can be more accessible than puzzle games. Interesting. But it's just really hard to do, and the current ones aren't accessible at all. Okay. He thinks that it depends on how broad or narrow you put tech-like. That's true. That's very true. It also depends on what you're defining it at all. Like, if I think about it, what I think when I say tech-like, what's Tectonics-like, then I'm a very gameplay-focused person. So I think about puzzles with an open solution space, basically, if that's the proper term. I'm not sure. Like puzzles that don't have, like, engineering puzzles is what I usually put them. Scar just mentioned, just named it problem games. It's a good term as well, I guess. You have to solve a problem, and there's not just one obvious way to do so, though. So yeah, I prefer the term engineering puzzle games, really, because you're engineering a solution, kind of. You're engineering a machine of some sort, usually. So that's an important aspect. Optimizing is an important aspect for me as well, obviously. So those are the two things I usually. That's the two. What's the word? Oh god, I'm bad at words for tonight. Not indicators. That's the two. Whatever. Requirements. Not the word I was looking for, but it's fine. The two requirements to qualify for attack-like for me. But it could be different things. Like, there's another thing most Tectonics games have in common. There is a story, which is told subtly through or in between the gameplay in interesting ways. And there's quite some world building going on in them. That's a thing you could put into the or add to the definition for attack-like if that's something you focus on. But that's not something I focus on. It's just what I recognize, but I would not disqualify a game as attack-like if it doesn't have a story, like this one, for example. But I see that other people could do that, because it's definitely a thing that, like, it's definitely a reoccurring theme in Tectonics games that they have a story that's told in an usually pretty subtle way. But yeah, for me it's the engineering approach to solving the problem and the optimization. If you want a little bit, if I want to be a bit more strict, I would add that there should be different optimization goals. Like in this game, it's cycles, program size, and bot area, and stuff like that. But yeah, so but it's an interesting thought. So Greeting Scar says that games like this could be more accessible but it would be hard to do. I wonder. I'm thinking about the Sectronic games right now. So Infinity Factory is just. I think Infinity Factory is fairly accessible. It's just pretty hard for a casual person because it introduces a new challenge every level, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but those challenges are actually pretty like they require a lot of complicated solution problems. Well, what's the word? Oh, god damn it! They require a bunch of logic and planning to be solved. The issues that Infinity Factory is providing you with or presenting to you. I think Opus Magnum was actually fairly accessible. Well, kind of. Like Opus Magnum was fairly easy to beat, but the way you put in, like you program the arms is not super accessible. Like that's not something a casual player would be into. Like that's the beauty of Infinity Factory is that like it's obvious what you do. Like there is no, you don't have to understand programming or like looping code or whatever which you require for Opus Magnum. You just put down the blocks and it's quite obvious what they do. And there are some weird physics things in this game, but for the most part, it's pretty obvious and like you're not going to be surprised by the mechanics a lot. It's fairly easy to understand the game for the most part, but it's just very hard to solve the levels because I think, and that's like the thing. I love Infinity Factory for the same reasons it's not accessible to casual players. It's introducing really interesting problems in every level. Like every level introduces a new interesting problem, and it does so in a very, very well subtle way, I guess is the way to describe it. Because at first you look at the level and think, oh yeah, that's just a different variant on what I did in the last level. But then you try to put the same approach on this level than you did in the last level, and you all of a sudden run into a wall and realize, oh, I can't do that. Like a good example is I just recently played it because my son loves watching me playing that. So I started replaying it. There's one really good example of that. What was that? Okay, not the best example, but there's another good example. Is the Javelin level, the first level where you have to build a rocket. But it's more obvious there because there obviously the challenge is, okay, now you have to put things on top of each other and have to build vertically, and that's obviously something you didn't do before, so it's not so subtle in there. But it's a new it's not like it doesn't introduce a new mechanic or anything. It just puts a new problem or throws a new problem at you that requires a bunch of thinking and problem solving skills. And that's what I love about this game, but it's also because these problems are actually pretty tough, that makes it very inaccessible for the casual market, I think. So yeah, they're talking about Infinity Miner. I never played Infinity Miner, but yeah, I know it exists. It's kind of an ancestor to Minecraft. By Tectronics. Scar says that Notch has definitely had a completely different view on Minecraft than Zack had on Infinity Miner, though, so they would not have become the same game, I guess. Okay, Asman, are you talking about Zack now? I think he is. He says that he loved Opus Magnum but didn't like the other ones. and the last game was a letdown for him. I actually, Molek Syntas is my least favorite Zectronics game. Like, it was fun to optimize the first few levels, but then it felt super repetitive really fast, which is the reason I didn't do What Is yet. I still want to do it, still on my list, but we'll see if I come around to it. Like, my personal favorite is still definitely Infinifactory. Like, it's just, in my opinion, it's the best Zectronics game, but I see why people would think otherwise. Exapunk was really good as well, but I'm not super, like, I kind of like decoding games, but I also don't. Like, it's too much coding it at some point. Like, I'm a software developer for a living, and yeah, it's not the same kind of programming, but it's still programming, and programming feels really dry at some point. It's, I don't know. What I liked in Exapunk is that it was very varied. Like, it didn't get monotone at all, because like the problems were, or the levels were just very different. Like, every level was very different to the ones before. Like, it had a lot of variety. So that was good. It also had a great theme and story. Like, that was really cool as well. The intro was fantastic. So it had a lot going for it. Well, still has, I guess. But yeah, Infinifactory definitely is my favorite. I liked Opus Magnum quite a bit as well. The coding ones, yeah. I don't know, Exapunk's my most favorite of the coding ones, but Shensen was kind of a letdown to me. Like, it wasn't bad, but it's not what I expected it to be. I had fun, but I was just disappointed that it wasn't what I wanted it to be. Which would have been like a game more about actually the connection of the platines and whatever, or the microcontrollers, and less about coding them. But it was mostly a game about coding challenges. And I don't know, Molek Syntas just didn't do it for me. Like, it's not a bad game, not at all. I enjoyed my time with it, but I was bored of it faster than I was with other tech games. Okay, Greeting Scar writes that he's kind of the opposite. The more he plays Molek Syntas, the more he likes it. Maybe I have to give it another shot. I don't know. And he prefers optimizing for other metrics than cycles. Yeah, I see. Like, I tried optimizing for the other metrics, and it definitely was interesting. More interesting than in Opus Magnum, for example. I hate low-cost solutions and space solutions in Opus Magnum. I find them so boring, especially at low cost. Like, they're just, oof. They're really, really boring, in my opinion. But Molek Syntas, the other metrics are actually kind of interesting. Maybe I have to give it another shot. I don't know. I'm not sure I have the time to do it, though, but the one big issue I have with Infinifactory are rotators. I hate rotators. I think they break the game. Like, the game has a simple rule. A block moves one cycle at a time. Like, you know, it moves one slot per cycle. And rotators just break that. And that completely breaks the game in so many ways. In general, I don't like how rotators work in general. Like, the fact that you put something on it, it rotates, and then you can't move it off without pushing it off. Or, like, if it's a single block, that is. If it's a bigger block, you can obviously just have a conveyor next to it or something. But I don't know, I don't like rotators in Infinifactory. I think the game would be better without them. Honestly. Also, Infinifactory didn't have the problem solved yet where when you played the first few levels, like, you could go back, like, let's put that a different way. If you played through the game and unlocked all the parts, you could go back to the early levels and use the later gained parts for the first few levels, which gave you new ways of optimizing them, which is a good thing, but it's a bad thing when a new player gets to the first level and thinks he has a really good solution, and then looks at the scoreboards, like the histograms, and sees that he's really bad and tries to figure out how he can improve it, and then at some point hopefully realize that he can't, because these scores were achieved with parts he doesn't have access to yet. That's like the biggest. Like they never did that again. Like they never did that again in any of the other games, I think. So they learned from that mistake, but yeah. Okay, Asman writes, as a mainstream guy, I just solve problems for the sake of solving them. In games, visual design was so addictive. Looks like Zuma's Revenge. I always loved colorful marbles, I guess. Oh, he's talking about Opus Magnum. Yeah. Opus Magnum is probably the most satisfying game to watch. The most satisfying Sectronics game to watch. Like, it's really good. Like, looking at these solutions, like the more complex one, it's fantastic. And people created art with it. Like, not even optimized code, just art. Like, I saw a GIF about a solution that told a story in a way. Like, it was a simple story, but like the arms were talking to each other through their movement and stuff. It was brilliant. Like, the GIFs for Opus Magnum are amazing. Infinity Factory GIFs can be cool as well, but it's not as easy to capture it in one GIF. Like, Infinity Factory solutions are so complex usually, or the more interesting ones at least, are so complex that you cannot really capture them in a little GIF. So that really doesn't really work, but they can look cool as well. But Opus Magnum it just has this sweet spot where it's super satisfying to watch a finished solution. But yeah, I don't know. Okay. Back to this game. I think I did it, right? Okay, so this works. Let's do it really quick again. Yeah, they sell the quiche. Okay, good. I wonder if I could speed this up, but I don't think so. I don't think I can, like, pick it up earlier or something. So now I have to kind of reproduce all of this at the other side. Do I have enough space? 2, 3, 4, I have, okay. Let's just try reproducing it. I think that's the easiest thing to do. So let's put some bots in and just do a complete replica the thing. And then just clone them. Oh, I probably have to. I think I have to. Wait, I probably have to do this, right? I have to make them face the right direction. I think I have to use this command. I hope this does what I think it does. Odd link flip vertically. Vertically? Oh damn it. No, I need a horizontal flip. Maybe? I'm just gonna try. Shouldn't matter for these. It probably does. I don't know. I hope this works. God damn it. No! No! I don't want to recreate all the code. Oof. Greeting Scar writes, he would love to see more games like Constructor, Engineer of the People. Oh yeah, that was my first Sectronics game. Oh boy. Oh boy, that game is a story of itself. Sorry for is that the, no, that's not how you say that, right? Wow, Constructor, Engineer of the People was I was doing my what's the English word for it? I just put it that way. I was doing my bachelor when I discovered it. I was just looking for interesting Flash games back then. Didn't knew anything about Sectronics at that point. I never I found when I later found what was the name of the game with the card game? The first Tectonics game after the odd one that's different. The first one after chem things. God damn it, I'm bad with terms tonight and words. What was the chemistry one called? Fucking hell, Space Chem. The one after Space Chem. With the cards. Whatever it's called. When I found that, I found out that was years later. I found on their website that they were the creators of Constructor. Ironclad Tactics, that's the one. And I was really surprised that those are the same guys. And Constructor, so for the ones who don't know, Constructor is crazy. Basically, it's super low level electronic engineering. You have two kinds of silicon and iron, and you have a square board where you put them down, and you have to create signals from inputs. And you only have you don't even have you have to build flip-flops and AND gates and stuff like that. But you have to you don't even there are lots of logic games where you have AND gates and OR gates and XOR gates, and you have to build complex logic thingies, logical circuits out of them. But Constructor is the only game where you don't even have those. You have to build those. You have to build your own AND gate with two different types of silicon and iron. I'm not sure what it's actually someone explained it to me recently. It's not two different kinds of silicon, but it's one is prepared in some way. I don't know how this stuff works. I'm just a software guy. I have no idea how that stuff works in real life. But it's the most hardcore logical or engineering puzzle game out there, certainly, for multiple reasons. Because they're it's just super low level. Also, the levels were really hard. And it has the worst tutorial ever, a thing that Tectonics improved quite a bit over the years. They have really good tutorials, in my opinion. They don't even really have tutorials in that sense. They teach you the game through the first few levels in a very clever way, usually. And oh boy, I spent so many hours. I had a mentor. I had a mentor for Constructor on what's the site name? Kongregate, I think. I was talking to him every day in chat, and he was giving me hints and helped me build the solution. And he had all the top scores. He was I tried to contact him years later and introduce him to Infinifactory, but he never wrote back. I wonder if he ever found out that Tectonics made more games in the same spirit. That guy was nuts. He was really good. The interesting thing about that game was also there was you could create a good solution. If you really it was hard, and it was hard to create a good solution that worked and got a good score. And then you optimize it, and then you got the score, and you felt okay, I can't go lower than that. That's the best score I can get for that. But then you look at the scoreboard, and there's still a few. I don't know what the optimization metric was. I think wasn't time. I guess it was. I think it was. I think iron was free, and you paid 1 point for every piece of silicon you used, and then the scoreboard just showed this one guy who was my mentor had 5 points less. How could that be? And the thing was that basically in basically every level there was a way to cheese it. There was an unintended solution kind of where you could trick the game into giving you a better score by usually you had some input signals and you had to translate them in output signals. There was over time, basically there was an input signal over time or two input signals over time, and one of the first levels was you have signal A and signal B, and you have to create signal C, and signal C has to be the AND combination of A and B. So if A is on and B is on, then C has to be on as well. There was different cycles for the test case was basically over time. There was 10 seconds of signal going on and off for A and B, and there were usually ways to cheese it to find a way to that not actually represented what the game asked you to do, but created the same result. And that usually allowed you to save a few score points here and there, which was the game was nuts. That was nuts. I spent so many hours on that. I think I still have a file. With, I might have deleted it, but not so long ago I still had a file with save files for the game. I still might have it. I don't know. It might be somewhere. That game was nuts. Greetings Rise said he was drawn to Minecraft's Redstone. And then he writes, but there are no levels in Minecraft. And that's exactly the thing why I was never interested in it. Like I'm really bad at finding at setting goals for myself in a way, at least in games. I don't like doing that in games. I like when the game gives me a good challenge and I just have to solve it. I don't like creating challenge for myself. Like, sure, you could go in Minecraft and say, okay, let's build a full adder or whatever. And yeah, you can do that, but I'm not a guy who does that. Like, I want the game to tell me, build a full adder. And then I build a full adder. But I don't want to set those goals for myself, which is why I was never drawn to Minecraft and the sort. But I definitely see that you can do crazy stuff with it. But now that Factoria is out, I think you can do even more crazy stuff with that. Someone created a video encoder or decoder, like a video player for Factorio. A friend showed me. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty nuts. Oh yeah, by the way, the guru for Engineer of the People back then, for Constructor, the guru who was mentoring me, he created like a solution that was basically ignoring all inputs and was just programmable to create the expected output. That was really nuts. Like, he filled the whole board. And basically, it was a universal solution. He could set a few pieces to program every output he wanted. Like, completely independent of any input. That was really dumb. Asman writes, Tech-like is free on Steam. What do you mean with Tech-like? Alchemical engineering saves. What is alchemical engineering? I remember the other tech game. What was it called? I forgot the name. Basically a predecessor to Opus Magnum. Constructor was the one I was talking about being cheesable. You could cheese that game in a huge way. Oh, it's like the book. Yeah, the book is free. Yeah. Never looked into it actually. I should probably do that. Okay, back to this. I guess I have to recreate all the command chains. Kill the link. Oh, actually, I only have to. I have to delay all of them by one cycle now. That's a thing. So delay it by one. What is it doing now? Is this actually? Is that working? It might be. I don't know. This might be okay. I don't know. It's showing weird symbols. I don't know if it's that will. Let's see. Let's just break all the links and then insert a delay at the beginning and see if that actually works. I doubt it, but maybe. Oh, what did I do? And now I have to add cycle for any of those. Actually, do I? Might not. Oh no, they might collide. Let's see. No, they're going the wrong way. But they're picking stuff up, so for the most part this works. Is this one doing the right thing? Picking up, putting it there, putting it on the knife station. It's facing the wrong way. No, didn't work, didn't work. For some reason. Codex of Alchemical Engineering. Yeah, that was the name, right? That was the precursor for Opus Magnum. Predecessor, I guess. Precursor or word? I don't know. Okay, something is wrong. So let's start again and make it really slow to see what happens. Fortunately, there's no step-by-step thing. We get the egg, we get the milk, we get the flour. Is he just too fast or something? He might just be too fast. No, we get a shroom, we get an egg, we get milk, and we get bread. No, wait, that's... There's something wrong. No, flour. Wait, something's wrong. Wait. What is wrong? I need bread. Not flour. Oh, this one is wrong, I think. Oh, yeah. Oh, it didn't work. Still wrong. Why? Picks it up, puts it down, waits for the other thing. Should prepare, but doesn't. Is the water not coming? Maybe the water's not coming. Oh yeah, the water's probably not coming. Yeah. There we go. 61. That was good. Nice. Nice. Okay, cool. You can probably optimize this further somehow. Just 56. I'm not sure if that's actually the lowest score, or if that's just, I don't know. Let's actually go to the next level. I was playing this level way too long. The main reason I did so is because there's no level selection, which is really weird. I can't go back. This is really weird. Peri Peri Chicken, introducing loop start, changing where the program repeats for. Oh, that's useful. I was complaining about that earlier, basically. So, how do I do that? Change loop start. Ah, that's a good way to do it. That's better than Opus Magnum did it, basically. I like that. That's cool. Basically, you say, like, you create the loop and you can start it at any point in the command chain. So you synchronize the loops, and then you just tell the bots where to start. So you don't actually have to synchronize them. Like, you just have to get them at the same, like you have to make them take the same amount of cycles, and then you synchronize them by changing the start. That's good, I like that. There's one downside to the Optimus Magnum approach, because the downside is that you don't have the commands in the same row, like same column. The commands that are executed simultaneously will not be in the same column, which is a downside. But okay, what do we need? We need sliced chicken, I guess, and then lemon, pressed lemon, and then we have to put stuff on it and put it on the grill. It's pretty complicated. Okay. So lemon, chicken. What else? Whatever that is, and whatever that is. I think that works. So you pick up this, slice it, put it on the thing, repeat. You pick up the thing, put it here, press it, pick it up again. Oh, I forgot an instruction for the first robot. Put it there, repeat. He has to pick it up again. And he also has to wait one cycle in the end. So we get the same number of cycles. Then bot 3. Picks up the thing, puts it there. And it's probably done for the most part. Actually, no, let's pick up the thing. Do that with one bot. Yeah. Okay. Needs one more cycle, so I have to make the others take longer. You pick up the thing. I'm going to synchronize them in a moment. You pick up the thing the right time. And then put it on the grill. Oh yeah, I also have to sell it. Yeah, wait. So you put it on the grill and pick it up again, put it there and reset. You have to change your facing here. And these have to wait one more cycle. And now I have to change the start of the loop. So these two are fine. This one is too early. So it needs to start the loop later. It puts down the thing. Actually, wait. Yeah, it puts it down at the same time, the same cycle as this one. Wait. 1, 2, 3. Actually, no, this is fine. This is totally fine. I think they work perfectly. I just have to layer this one because it puts the whatever that is, the sauce in at this cycle. Then we put the chicken in here, the lemon here, the lemon juice, and whatever the other thing is here. So that's fine. We just have to make this one pick up 2 cycles after, like 3 cycles after this. So actually, that's the right time to do it. Because it has to it has to wait for 1, 2, and then picks it up, puts it on the grill. And I can actually optimize this. That's not helping though, but let's do that anyway. Maybe that's helping, we'll see. You... pick the thing up, put it here, pick it up, put it there. And then reset. That's actually, it doesn't help, but it's fine. Yeah, that works. Cool. Well-oiled machine. 56 cycles. You can probably get this way faster by producing multiple thingies at the same time, I assume. Nice. Okay, Scar writes, I remember the Codex of Alchemical Engineering had a system where you could even execute commands at first that aren't even part of your loop. It was super fiddly though. Oh yeah, I remember that. That was useful. That was useful. It was fiddly, maybe, yeah, but it was useful. Opus Magnum was just much more convenient without giving up much power. Yeah, true. And indeed, this kind of feels like the best of both worlds. Near max power, near max ease. Yeah, I really like the solution for this one. The only issue I have is that you don't have the commands that are being executed simultaneously be in the same column. That's a little unfortunate. That could be solved visually though. You could just have I think what it should do, there should be like a padding thing instead of changing where it executes. It should just be a padding at the start, like just delay this for so many cycles. Wait, is that a problem? Is that enough? No, I think that's fine. I think that's actually what you want. I think that would be the best, to just put a padding at the beginning and start it later. Or is that what Opus Magnum did? No, Opus Magnum did it differently. Opus Magnum did it weird. I don't remember how Opus Magnum did it, actually. Introducing the Railbot. It's still introducing new mechanics. What's the Railbot? Why is it a Railbot? What does it do? It's not rotating. Okay. Ooh. I didn't expect us to be that complex. Yeah, complex not like sounds very negative though. I didn't expect this game to have way more mechanics than what I've seen so far, but okay. So now we have a boat that is not able to rotate. So we have to do anything in a line. But it can sidestep, which actually makes things easier as well. Or different, I guess. That's interesting. Okay. Let's actually do this. These recipes are getting fucking complex though. What do I have to do? I have to cook the rice. Slice the chicken. Slice the vegetables. Take whatever that is and all the things I prepared, put them in a pan and cook it. Okay. Let's do this with one robot for the lols. How can we optimize this with one robot? I think there should be a stat or optimization matrix for number of robots. Actually, that's probably dumb though. It's not. It's probably similar to low cost in Opus Magnum. But I kind of like the idea of having him doing multitasking. Like if it would involve more downtime, more waiting, that could actually be interesting. Like if the recipes would include more waiting, like it takes 2 cycles to cook the rice, it takes 3 cycles to whatever, I don't know. Maybe we have some things here, like this and this is both taking time. So you could, while this is cooking, you could start preparing chicken or whatever. That could be interesting. I wonder if something like that happens in the later levels. But then why would you only do 1 robot? But I still think it might still be a good idea to have like everything in 1 line. It's probably not. It's probably not, to be honest. Okay, let's do it backwards. We have a pen. Pen the right word? Pen the right word? Pen is correct, right? Okay. My brain was thinking it should be something else. I don't know why. And okay, no, let's not do it backwards. Let's have this robot do something. Let's have this robot pick up rice, put it in a pot, and then put it in the pan. And then have another robot prepare some chicken. And have another robot prepare vegetables. Oh wait, that doesn't work. Damn it. Because now I'm blocking this path. Oh, this actually... Ooh. Ooh, this is actually a little tricky. Okay, we're doing okay, I'm doing a little silly thing now. This is probably not good for optimization, but I like the idea. Doing this in a table. And then we do... Or... Yeah, no, it's good. Slicing and a table. And then we do vegetables, slicing. And a pen, I guess? Actually, this is not terrible, I think. Might actually be a good solution. Who knows? Which is a good order? This one takes the longest. This is the fastest. This takes the longer. This takes the longest. I want him to start on the chicken. Yeah, I think I just want him to start here. And I probably want, to be honest, probably want pan to be here. Maybe like that. Waiting for the chicken. No, wait. No, that's not correct. I think that might be the best way to approach this. No. Don't program. Move. Start with the chicken. Yeah, this might be good. Okay. So when I do it this way, now I have to... Damn it, I don't have space to sell it. God damn it. God damn it, this doesn't work. I don't have the space to put a consumer anywhere. Because I can't put it anywhere here because the robots actually have to move there. And this robot cannot rotate, so. I guess one of them could, like this one could pick up whatever is in the fan. And have the consumer be over here. Okay, let's do that. That's probably not very optimized. Good night, Scar. Should he writes that I could continue complaining that there are not enough viewers, that there are no viewers, so that somebody comes. I mean, it worked earlier. I was not complaining really though. Well, kind of, I guess, a little bit. I don't know. Okay. Let's try to get this right. So we pick up the vegetables, we move, we put them on the cutting thing, cut them, pick them up, put them there, reset. Bought 2. Let's do 3 first. Picks up the chicken. Actually, no. 2 first. Picks up the rice, puts it in the cooking pot. Waits for 1 cycle, gets them out, puts them in the pan. Then has to wait for a few cycles. Okay, let's do 3 now. Takes the chicken, puts it there, resets. Okay, I have to change the starting point later, but let's start here. So it picks up the sliced chicken, puts it in the pan, picks up the vegetables, puts them in the pan, resets. When do I have to delay it though? Assuming, wait, how many more steps is this? 1, 2, no, picking it up. No, that's way more steps. Okay, let's see. He puts it in the pan. It has to cook for at least 2 thingies. See the last one putting it in the pan? No, he is not. So we have to wait this one and then 2 more cycles. Then pick it up. Would be better to have an extra robot doing this. But I could have an extra robot doing this. Wait. Wait, I could easily have an extra robot doing this. Not a problem at all. I can have another robot start over here. Or, actually, start over here. That robot pick up whatever's in the pan. Get over there, put it in there. And then reset. And then have a few cycles of sleeping. So now all the robots have the same number of cycles. Now I just have to get the timing right. So 1 puts it on the table at that point. 2 puts it in a fan at that point, and a pen. Not fan, goddammit. It's Pfanne in German, so it's written with a P, but it's PF. It's Pfanne, which is more similar to fan than to pen, I believe, which is my brain is fucking up. Okay, so 4 is picking up what is on the table. Okay, let's synchronize 4 with this one. So 4 has to delay its start. Cannot pick it up before it's put there though, right? I think. Collide. It's also not starting at the right. Wait. Why is it? I put the loop start there. Why is it not actually? Oh, it's not doing what I thought it would do. Oh no. Okay, loop start me. Oh, this is the same thing that the Codex of Alchemical Engineering did. I can offset it and then say loop this only. Okay. So what I actually do is Go to the start. And do this. Okay. Okay, that works. Collides with the other one, but I have to figure that out. Okay. The other one has to be timed correctly as well, though, anyway. So he's gonna start when the last thing is in the pan, which is okay, which is here, which is now hard to see. This is annoying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, no, I just have to delay it to there. Just have to do this. Put it there. Like that, I believe. And then also change this loop start to there. Yeah, he has to start over there. So I have to change its program to start with moving left. Means I have to start it 2 cycles earlier. Start moving left, take the thing, put it over there. Wait for 4 cycles. Oh, they collide again. Did it do it correctly though? I think 2 is actually way too fast. Why is 2 so fast? It takes in the same number of cycles. Should be able to take it out the pan before 2 is putting something in, right? No, I'm not. 2 has to be changed. 2 can delay all it does by a few cycles. Let's actually do that. Change it so that it puts something in the pan. Between, or puts the 2 other things in the pan. Makes sense. I have some leeway here where I put it exactly, I think. Promise that 4 and 5 are colliding. 2 is fine now. I got 2 out of the way. But I have to get 4 and 5 fixed. Which should be possible to fix now by 5 moving a little different. Like 4 is busy all the way, but 5 can move differently. 5 can get there earlier. Wait, when does it have to get there? Four is moving down, down, up. Now 5 has to get over there. Yeah, so I think maybe 1 cycle earlier might be enough. I don't know, 1 or 2 earlier. Let's do one earlier. Now I have to delay it before it picks up. Now it collides again on the path back. Shit. I don't really have time to change the movement on the path back though. That's an issue. I mean I can, but well actually it only costs me a few cycles, it should be fine. Let's watch that again though. So 5 moves over there. Now picks up. Oh, that doesn't work anyway. It picks up vegetables for some reason. So there's something wrong in the first place. There's something wrong anyway. Why? What is wrong? We have sliced chicken. We have cooked rice. We have sliced vegetables. In now. 1, 2. For some reason it doesn't cook long enough. Is it not cooking long enough? It's in here. It should have. Why is he not picking? Am I missing something? Oh yeah, I'm missing something. Shit. There's another ingredient. Oof. Completely missed that. There's another ingredient. I mean, 5 can bring it. 5 can bring that. I think. So, pick up the thing, put it in the fan, wait 2 cycles, get over there, sell it. Set an. That's not the. Damn it! He takes 1 cycle too long, so everyone else has to delay by 1. Ugh. Annoying. Annoying. Okay. Okay, so everyone else has to extend its cycle by 1. It's looped by 1 cycle. So now I have to delay him to what? How much? This symbol has to be actually it could be here. Then he has to wait a little longer though, so his loop takes longer. Can't afford extending his loop. If I extend this, can I do it differently? No, if I... No, then I have to... He has to wait longer. And waiting is extending his loop. I can't extend his loop. So I have to just delay it to this thing, this position. Oh, God damn it, he has even more cycles. I programmed him wrong. Because he also has to pick it up. Which means everyone else need an extra cycle as well. Wait, what? Oh, you can actually step. Ah, you can step. Okay. Wait. 2, pause. Step back, step forward. Okay, cool. Puts it in. Picks it up. moves. I think that just works. Interesting. 70 cycles. Okay, cool. Interesting. But optimize it, like, it's actually pretty challenging already to solve them. Optimizing feels really tedious. Okay, nothing new, no new mechanic here, I guess. Just a even more complex recipe. Still no level select screen or anything, which is a little weird. Okay, I think I'm done for tonight. I've played enough now to make a what is video. I don't even know if I have time to do one, to be honest. We'll see, maybe tomorrow, but I also want to make the Molex Synex video, and I don't really have time. We'll see, I don't know. I'm a little busy these days, so it's hard for me to focus on creating videos, but at least I got the due process video out of the way, so I actually have some time for videos again. Also, I have a bunch of games that I actually want to make videos about that are a little bit older just because I found them and they're great. Like, Pyre is really cool. I love Pyre. It's fantastic. I'm playing it recently. It's really good. It's by the guys who made Bastion. What's the other one called? The one with the sword. I don't know right now. And I didn't like the other two too much, but Pyre is fucking great. I love it. Really good. Then there's Yoku's something island, or is it just Yoku's island? It might be just Yoku's island. Yoku's island is like, okay, let's give them a few word descriptions and why I love them. So Pyre is really cool. It's a pretty story heavy game about, like, it's a sports game really. Like it's a really weird fantasy sport where you have to put in a ball into the opponent's fire somewhat. It's weird. It's hard to describe. You have to watch it. It has really intense, cool gameplay though, and a great story, a great storytelling. It's just really good. It's hard to put it in a few words though, why it's good. Then there's Yoku's Island. Is this Yoku's Island? It's Yoku's Island Express, I think. No, it's Yoku's Island. I don't know. It's a game. It's fantastic. I love it. It's a pinball Metroidvania. I think that puts it pretty well. You're playing a little beetle who carries, like, it's a what's the correct term in English? What check what the term is. What the word is. What's the English? It's a dung beetle. Yeah, it's a dung beetle, and a dung beetle has a big ball of dung. Like with a leech the correct word. God damn it. No, leech is not the correct. Is it? No, with the lead, like attached to him. Like he has a dung ball attached to him with a tether or a cord or whatever the right word for that is. For reasons. It's just his dung ball. And basically you can run around with the beetle in a 2D world. It's a 2D world. And you can run around with him and he will just drag the ball behind him. But then there are these flipper areas where you have flippers and you can flip the dung ball and the beetle will just be pulled along. And it's a Metroidvania because you have to unlock new things by finding new movement skills. Like there's a swim, you can swim, and you can collect collect snails which explodes. Don't ask. It's fantastic. There's also, you can like get a swing thingy and whatnot, and it unlocks new movement, ways of movement, which unlocks more paths of the map. It's a fantastic game. It has a cute little story as well about saving the island you're on. Oh, by the way, you're the post officer. I didn't mention that yet, right? You're the post officer, and you have to carry out the post, like letters and packets and whatnot. And at the same time, you have to save the island. It's really cute. It's a fantastic game. I want to make a video about it, actually. No, The more games I want to make videos about. Pyre and Yoku are both certainly on the list. I think I wrote them down somewhere there. I didn't make a video on Slay the Spire yet, I believe. Which I feel bad about because it's fucking fantastic. There's also Limelight. Did I ever make a video about Limelight? Actually, I feel like I made a video. Let me check that really. Limelight is fantastic. Limelight is one of the best casual puzzle games I ever played. Only made a PvP video about it. I definitely have to come back to that and make it what is eventually. Like, it's a fantastic game. It's super minimalistic, and I'm usually not into abstract minimalistic games, but this one, holy shit, is good, and even managed to evoke emotions through its gameplay. And I only know only one other game that managed to do that comes to mind, and that does it in a way less subtle way, which is Brothers, a tale of two sons or whatever it's called. Which is fantastic as well, but Limelight does it in a very different way. Like, Limelight managed to evoke emotions through gameplay because all your visuals are aligned. Like, it's freaking minimalistic. It's fucking fun. It's a phenomenal game, though. It's a really tough puzzle game, actually, in the end. It starts out very light, but it's great. My son loves playing it, actually. It's a little hard for him, but he loves it as well. He didn't play it recently. He played it for a long time, actually. My son is 4, by the way. And yeah, I infected him with playing video games already. I don't know, there's Niche on the list, which is not, like, Niche is only there because I just played it so much because of the paid promotions that I feel confident making a video about it. It's not really necessary to make one. It's a decent game. It's a good game, actually, but it's not something I really want to make a video about it. Like the other ones, but Yoku, Pyre, and Limelight are definitely on this. Why is Pyre not on this list, actually? Should put Pyre here. And Slay the Spire, obviously, which is a fantastic game as well. It has some flaws, certainly. But Slay the Spire, it's such a funny thing. Like, a few years ago, I was thinking, you know what would be a good combination of genres? Deck building and a roguelite? And a few years later, Slay the Spire comes around. I was like, oh yeah. It's pretty close to what I had in mind. Not exactly, but it's similar. So yeah, that's a great game as well. I'm coming back to all the time, actually. I stopped playing it for a while and now I started it up again. It's Slay the Spire is like, I have a problem, not a problem, but I come in a situation frequently where usually when I select games I want to play, I usually pick the games that are pick games that are challenging to the mind quite a bit, like games that you have to think about to play them, or you have to focus. Like in Pyre is not so much that you think about it, but Pyre requires a lot of concentration and focus. Like if you want to play that, you have to be really fucking focused because it's hard. And it's intense, and like every match takes several minutes, and you have to be laser focused through the whole match. You cannot make a single mistake, or you can, but it will cost you. And other games like Infinite Factory or this one or whatever, like games where you have to think a lot. Like all these games are bad when you're tired. And so I find myself in a situation where I'm sitting on a computer and I want to relax and chill out and just play a game. Preferably while watching a stream or something at the same time. And these games are not suitable for that. So I'm always looking for a game that fits, like I can play in these situations. And I always thought that more action-focused games, but like light action-focused games, do that. Like I played the snowboard game for a while. Yoku is actually pretty fine for that as well. Works well for that. But Yoku, I played it too much at this point. Like I'm bored of it. But Slay the Spire surprisingly fits that niche. It doesn't, like, it's turn-based, so you don't have to do anything fast. You can just stop playing at any second, and you don't lose anything. You can come back at any point. So you don't have to be focused for that. You have to use your brain to make decisions, but it's always like the possibility space for actions you can take is always fairly limited. Like it's enough to get my brain going and keep me interested, but it's not so much that I feel overwhelmed when I'm tired. And I just recently discovered that the game is really, really good for these situations for me, because it actually makes me less tired. It wakes me up. It gets me in a good mood and makes, like, it's really good. Like if I'm feeling bad for reasons, like I'm stressed out or whatever, and tired from a hard day or whatever, had a bad day for reasons, and I'm looking for something chill to play, then Slay the Spire. Like I had this moment, and I just started Slay the Spire because I wanted to try. Is that something I want to play right now? And an hour or two later, I was in a brilliant mood. I was really happy. I was chilled out. I was relaxed. I was going to bed and was like, that was a good evening. And I was really surprised by that. Because I don't know, I didn't expect games to like Slay the Spire to fit that category, but it actually does fit well. Like lighter tactics games, I guess. It's really good. It's really good. But I'm rambling quite a bit. So yeah, I definitely want to make videos about Pyre, Slay the Spire, and Yoku eventually. But there's no reason to like. There's no time I have to. Oh yeah, on Light, obviously. There's no reason to be stressed out about them, because they're all released months ago, so there's no reason to do it now or anything, like at a certain date or whatever. I'm just gonna do them when I find time and the mood for it to do it. But yeah, there's definitely games I would recommend highly. Fucking great. But yeah, a game where it would be good to have a video out on time would be this one. So maybe I managed to get a video done the next few days, and I also should get a video done on Molex and S, really. I don't know, I have to dig into it again though, which might be too big of a barrier to take, but we'll see. Anyway, I'm rambling. So let's wrap this up, shall we? This game is called Neon Noodles. It's gonna enter early access on the 29th of November, so in a few days. It's a tech-like. The developer describes it as a tech-like, and it's definitely fun. It has some cool ideas. I wonder where it gets if I get deeper into it. There's definitely some UX issues right now. Mainly, there's no level select. That seems. I feel like that's such a big oversight that I'm just missing it. It has to be there somewhere. Like, there's no option to go back to an earlier level? What? How is that like, how can you describe yourself as your game yourself as a sack-like and then not give me the option to go back to the earlier levels and actually optimize them? Like, that's not right. I feel like I'm missing that, or it's gonna be unlocked later, but I'm actually in level, I don't know, 12 or something. So I don't know when. So that's definitely something that has to be in there. Also some UX things, like the controls are not perfect. Yeah, also I think I don't like the art style. Like the robots look really ugly. I don't know. I don't like the design of the robots. Maybe that's just me. Also the board looks, I don't know, it really looks low budget. Like these things actually work. That's just iconography, that's fine, but the 3D models are, yeah, they're not great. I feel like they're not terrible, but I don't know, I just don't like them maybe. They definitely look below budget, and I think it would help the game to, like, this looks good. As I said, these icons are fine. These icons actually look cool. Make the robots similar to that somehow. Like, all of this is stylized anyway. Why is the robot like a 3D model? Why is it not like something similar? I don't know. I think that would be better. Because yeah, the icons actually look good. I like them. But everything else, the background actually looks decent as well. I like the background, but the actually 3D models, like, what is this? And the board and thing. Okay, the thing around it, this looks okay. That might be part of the background though. But like all of the actual 3D models, probably developer art, to be frank. And I understand why that is, but it would be good for the game. I'm not sure if it would be worth it financially, but it would improve the game to change that, to either better 3D models, or maybe to do something similar like you did here, I believe. Yeah, and also the UI looks, I don't know, it's not great. And also this, it's just, I don't know. I understand why that is and how that is, but these are things that can be improved and should be improved, in my opinion. Like, this is not intuitive. Where are the tooltips? Why are the position of these things changing depending on what I click on? Why are there, like, in general, the controls are a little strange. I'm doing most, like, you don't actually use the mouse quite a bit. I don't know, it's weird. It's strange, the controls are strange. I can't think of a perfect control scheme for this, like, out of my head, from top of my head here, but it's definitely my main gripes with it are the controls are strange and the UI is weird, and the graphics look a little bit low budget. But the gameplay is definitely good. Cool ideas. So far, it mixed it up quite a bit. The recipes are getting a little bit well, they're not actually that complex yet, but it's actually hard to fit all of that on a 2D board. Like, that's actually tricky, which is interesting, actually. But yeah, I don't know. It's really strange to optimize in this game because there's no obvious path forward. So I think that's a good thing. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I don't feel as inclined to optimizing in this game as I do in other tag lags, because there's so many options to do it, which is actually interesting. I think leaderboard wars in this game could, like, optimize for cycles, or in general probably other areas might be interesting as well, but optimize for cycles could be really, really crazy, because you can just think of completely different approaches instead just of, like, trying to cut off a few cycles here and there. Because yeah, there's no, like, you usually only have, actually you have unlimited. Oh, the limits are different in every level. So in this level you have limited consumers and limited cooking pots, but the others are actually unlimited. Also the inputs are unlimited. What? That's crazy. That's really strange as well, though. Yeah, these limits will have a huge impact on how to optimize for a level. They don't have a big impact for solving them, but for optimizing them, that's really crazy. Like, that's not crazy, but that's like an very important point. How many of what do I have available? Because you only have very limited space, obviously. Yeah. Also, that it's only running to 5, so you don't actually have to loop it in some situations, I assume. Which is also strange, but I don't know. I definitely want to play a lot more of it, but maybe I'm gonna wait for release. Actually, yeah, I'm probably gonna do the video and then put it on the back catalog and wait for it to get the full release and see what the devs do with it. So yeah, or dev maybe might be a one-man project. Certainly feels like one. So yeah, link is in the description below if you're interested in it. As usual. Thanks for watching. Have fun and see you next time.